I want to start off with Martin, who is, so many filmmakers come and go and try to make this stretch from comedy to hardcore violence. He's one of the few that succeeds. Why do you think that is? But all three of you have worked with him. What is it for you, Colin?
I hate to be so obvious and just say because the level of brilliance that he has as a writer. I mean, he really does have a deft touch when it comes to mixing, you know, extreme and irreverent and violent dialogue and physical acts of violence, and then the more sensitive characteristics of us as human beings that sometimes push us into acts of violence. You know, fear of loss and the need to protect and self-preservation and greed and whatever it may be. So Martin, he's just a deft touch, really. You know, his films defy, I think, for me, just quantification of a particular genre. You know, they kind of cross in and out of all genres.
You both worked with him on a play.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What was it like, kind of stepping into the cinematic realm with him?
Well, I think that's true. Martin has that ability to tap into, I think, the natural connection between what's funny and what's scary. Yeah. You know, that laughter is rooted often in something being unsettling in yourself, something that makes you nervous.
Anxiety, yeah.
Anxiety, you know.
Sam, I really dig your character.
Hey, thanks, man.
I think he's kind of the best friend that we all have that's just completely insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was it like taking this character on and stepping in his shoes, in the absolute psychopath?
It was really fun. Yeah, it was really fun. But it's a fun part, you know. And I think again, it's Martin's kind of idiosyncratic way of he messes around with a linear story like Charlie Kaufman or Tarantino. You just don't know what's going to come next. And what Colin said about and Chris said about violence and making you feel kind of unsafe and making you laugh at the same time, and it's just part of it. It's why he's a great writer, one of those great writers. Yeah.
What is it about playing psychopaths? Why do people respond to these characters? Why do people respond to the dark side of nature?
I'm not sure. I think there are varying degrees of darkness within every person, and I think, you know, you're from an early age, society by and large in most places curtails behaviours that are seen as antisocial and amoral, and but if maybe the fundamental thing that gives birth to those behaviours or the desire to act out in a certain way isn't addressed, well, then those behaviours come out in all sorts of grotesque ways later on in life. And so I think that people are just interested in seeing how those things unchecked play out when they know that maybe they have some kind of kernel of distaste or disdain for certain things that they don't get to, and nor should they get to exercise, but they don't even get to question maybe in their lives. So
well,
maybe my message is a quack.
Yeah, no, that's right. I think people love an anarchist. I think so. It's those are the funnest. You know, like his character in Bruges, or him in King of New York, or you know, Scarface. You know, people, James Cagney, Top of the World model. Like people love those anarchists. You know, and that's why they're so fun to. The rule breakers are just, you know, they're just so fun. Jesse James, you know.
Things like that in Bruges, you know, I'd never hit a woman, and you wouldn't hit a woman rape. A woman with a bottle, I mean, that's a bit different, you know. It's just, but there's a fucked up logic, you know, suggesting yourself would run from a woman with a bottle fast.